Hi, I'm Jennifer, and this is my daughter Emily, and we are the owners of Porcelynne. So today I actually want to share with you something that I've been working on for months now. And it's not just a little project, it was quite an extensive project. And you can ask Emily because she helped package some of the stuff in front of the TV when we actually had COVID last week, or the last 2 weeks. So,
I never had COVID.
No, she did not have COVID. We got COVID and she always tested negative. So I'm still recovering. So what I've been working on is bra making kits. Now this is something that I've kind of dabbled in a little bit in the past, but I never kind of really got into it because it was a lot of work. I can tell you that this was a lot of work. But I also don't know many people that would sit down and do 17 different styles of kits. That's a lot, isn't it? Yeah. You can ask this one. We actually did a bunch of custom dyeing for some of the kits, and we have some more custom dyed kits that will be coming out again soon. So we've decided to release these along with the release of Cashmerette's Willowdale bra. So they've been working really hard at that, and they asked me if I can help kind of make some of the kits that go with them. So I'm going to show you some of the kits in just a second, but I want to show you kind of my version of the Willowdale. It is a beautiful color, isn't it? It is a giant cup. Yep. This was actually the sample I made, and I'm actually having to make one a little bit smaller. So you see I used a lot of really nice fabric for this. This is actually one of our kit fabrics. So this fabric all came from leftovers from when I was dyeing the actual kits. So this one I didn't really lose any kit fabric, but one thing you want to consider when you're actually making a bra for the first time, especially if you're making anything new, is you probably want to do a fit sample and use something that's not using the beautiful kit. So get some basic fabrics that you can actually make your sample fit and make sure it fits right before you actually cut into your good stuff. For this one, it fits really nicely, except this cup is too big by 1 cup size, and this one's too big by 4 cup sizes. So I'm a little asymmetrical, and I'm actually going to go through the process of what I did for this. My breasts are actually a little bit on the heavy side too, so I actually did reinforce the lace on the top, but I'll show that to you in a little while in a different video. But I just wanted to show you, this is the Willowdale in a different version. So this is, I also have one other sample I did, but this is actually not the Willowdale, this was my Ariel. And I just wanted to show you how I used the different fabrics in the kit. So for this one, this was again all done out of scraps that I had left over from dyeing them. And so I used lace on part of it, some just the tricot, and some actually the lining to kind of give it a little bit of a fun little mix on it. So you can really play around with how you use the fabrics in the kit. So you don't always have to follow the rules. I like to play around with mine.
I like that one.
I know. And I actually, this was my fit sample also, and I actually need to make this smaller. I think I lost a little bit of weight during COVID, so none of them fit quite right. So I need to make them smaller. Okay, so let's take a look at the table and see what we've got. Okay, as you can see, there's just a whole bunch of bags of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna get to these ones in a minute. Now these ones down here, you're like, it's just a lot of things to look at. These are the ones that I have limited quantities of. And I'm gonna open up one for an example. Let's see, this one will probably be good on camera. And I'll show you those. Those are a little bit different. So for each one of these kits, okay, so in these kits, you'll find a few things in here. So you have some stretch lace, and depending on the width of the stretch lace, you have anywhere from 2.5 yards to actually 1.5 yards to 2.5 yards. And this one is, I'm not sure exactly what the width is on this one. I think this one is the 8.5 inches. So this one is likely just 2 yards. We also have a piece of about 15 by 15 power net. So you should be able to get a nice cut out of that. And this is a little bit more than you may actually need. We also have the 40 denier tricot. And this one is about a 22 by 26 piece. Now, for the Willowdale, you can make it in a couple different ways. You can actually make it with, where you have 2 layers that you cut of this. But I decided I want to have something a little bit more versatile. So I've actually also including a piece of lining fabric. I can see where it is. So this is a piece of lining fabric that you can use for the cups. And this,
soft.
Yep, and this one's a soft one. And then you have this the non-stretch lining. So this one has no stretch. You can use actually on the band and anywhere you want to kind of reinforce it. So you can use this on the front band. So you don't actually have to cut 2 layers of this. You can cut this and this as your layers. So that's kind of what's in these kits for the fabric. Then you get 3 bows. And the reason I do 3 bows is because, well, I like to use them in places I might mess up. So I do these at the strap and this one in the center. But you can use those how you see fit. Now, when you're actually looking at the kits, there's a couple different options. So I kind of set it up a little differently. So you'll see that the kit picture actually shows hooks and eyes and other elastics. So these are the fabric kits alone. And so when you actually select one of the kits, it gives you options of what size hooks and eyes you want, what size band elastics you want, and was there another one too? Oh, and the size of the strap. So once you actually choose those, and those other items are kind of designed as separate little freestanding kits. So those will all be added to the shopping cart separately, and it makes it a little bit more versatile so we can actually mix and match and use some of the elastics with different kits. So we do have a fair amount of those finding kits, so we should be able to be fairly flexible. But I wanted the fabric kits to kind of stand on their own. So these ones down here, these ones over here, I have anywhere from, let's say 3 to about 16. Now these two, so my purple and blue and my blue and black, have an extra fabric in here. And so what I have done, I also have a piece of royal blue spandex, and this one has a piece of orchid purple. And what you can do is you can actually use this on the back band with this or without it. I would just worry about using, this is pretty stretchy, so it's probably a little bit stretchier than the pattern was called for. So if you use this with this behind it, just make sure that the stretch still works well for you. And so you can actually double layer these on the back, so you have a little bit more color kind of definition on them. Okay, so those were the kits that were kind of more limited edition. So what I want to show you now are the ones that we actually have. I did a fair amount of, I did hand dyeing, plus I can also make more of these if we need them. So these ones down here. So these ones, let's see over here. This is a really beautiful spearmint green that I did. It actually came out so much prettier than I ever thought. It's super bright, it's super fun. It has like this starburst sun pattern on it. And so this one kind of has all the same components to it. These ones here are hand dyed. Well, there's some pieces on that one. So with these, there may be some irregularities in some of the in the dyeing, mostly in the edges of the fabric. So I will show you. In this fabric, of all of these ones, this one and actually the gray were really the most difficult ones to dye. So on the edges, you'll see when I put this in the water, the edges curled up. So the edges are a little bit slightly different color, but you could always use this as kind of a cool ombre effect. So some of them have a little bit of discolorations on them, some a little bit more than other. I did try to pull out the ones that were terrible, but in general these actually look really pretty. And I said these are ones I made with pieces that didn't make the cut into the actual kits. So some of these I didn't feel they were consistent enough to sell, but you can see I still got a beautiful looking kit, beautiful looking bra from the kit, even if there was coloration issues. So the lighter one was definitely harder to dye. This one, the berry, is gorgeous. I love this. This is this one right here. We have this gray lace right here, which is like 12 inches, so it's really nice. And then we have some
huge.
Yes, it was really big.
Like this big.
And then we have some all black kits because everyone needs a black bra. So we have one in the heart fabric and also in the starburst fabric, and I have those both in black. And then we did one that's kind of a black and white, and then I did another one that's a black and cream. And on this one, the power net on this, oh, it was terrible to dye. So for this one, you really need to cover this power net with the lace.
Yeah, because it looks terrible.
Well, it doesn't look absolutely terrible. It is less consistent, and I actually had to pull a lot more of these. So the available quantities on these are just a little bit less because of that power net. But that is pretty much all these kits. So you can see that I have all of these kits on my website. Plus, I actually, because I had to make a sample, and I'm going to have to make another one, I actually pulled together, kind of curated a category on my website for the actual components. So if you want to make yourself kind of a tester bra, I have a list of what I recommend for getting, and they're actually all in that category, so you can also get extras so you're not cutting into the really beautiful kit and find out that you need to make an adjustment somewhere. But anyway, those were the kits. This is my update. Happy Monday. See you guys later.
I really want to make one of
Oh,
those.
and here's my kitty.